Hey guys, Buff Game here, bringing you back another video for our weapon conversion series, and today we're covering the new weapon released with the Season 2 content drop, the GRAU 556, and converting it into the SIG SG 550. So let's go ahead and get ready. I'm going to show you how to build this from scratch, and then see how it handles in-game with the recoil patterns, and then in-game against bots. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Here you see our final design for the SIG SG 550 assault rifle. So let's go ahead and back out. First, I'm going to jump back to the main menu and show you where you unlock this in the Battle Pass. So if I jump over to our Battle Pass, this is unlocked at Tier 15, which is one of the free unlocks here. So if we go ahead and preview this, this is the base GRAU 556 or the SIG SG 552 that you unlock at base for the assault rifle category. So this is the compact carbine variant of the 550. So here it is at Tier 50. Again, at another little note here is at level 31 is when you get the Striker 45 or the LRW or the LWRC SMG 45, which is unlocked here at 31. So this is not a UMP. However, if I jump to Tier 100, there is a blueprint that turns the LWRC into the, cosmetically at least, into the UMP 45. So the Undertaker blueprint, you can see here, turns this cosmetically more so into a UMP 45 by Agent K. So it's not a UMP 45, but it is a cosmetic variant turning it into a UMP 45. So now let's back out. We're going to go back to our main menu, but first, one thing to note, we have a new classified section here with the update today, which was 51 gigabytes. So we have a classified section here. This is almost 100% Battle Royale, which I'll make another video on probably the next day or so. The intro that you'll see for Season 2 is hinting heavily at a Battle Royale or some variation of a Battle Royale. So here we have this. I guess we can expect that to be released at some point during Season 2 here, as it is coming soon. We did have the very large update today. As I said, 51 gigs on PlayStation. I believe it was 60-something on PC. So those files are almost certainly going to be data mined shortly, and I'm sure we'll get an official announcement as to the date. But I would say it is all but confirmed at this point. But back to our weapon conversion for the SIG 550. So let me jump into this. We'll strip this down and work with this from scratch. So here we have our base SIG SG 552. And we can make a couple different conversions out of this, but for the 550, what I'm going to do is go ahead and select a compensator. Now this is going to assist us with our recoil control as well as our aim down sight speed and our aiming stability. So I'll go ahead and put that on. Now the key attachment here is going to be the barrel, so we're going to want the FFS 20.8-inch Nexus barrel. So this is unlocked at level 57 with this weapon. This is the last unlock for the barrel attachment, and this is going to assist with your pros being damage at range, bullet velocity, as well as recoil control. The con being aim down sight speed and movement speed. So we'll go ahead and select this barrel attachment. Now laser, we're going to go ahead and skip out. Nothing special here, just a laser add to the Picatinny that we have on the right-hand side of the weapon. Optic, again, this is personal preference. There is no weapon-specific optic like we saw last season with the G36 and the TAR-21. So we have just all the standard sights here. What we're going to do, this is all personal preference. I'm just going to go ahead and put a holographic sight on this particular weapon. Now stock, we're going to leave it at the base stock. You can see we have a couple different cool options here, cosmetic changes to the base stock options. Perk, we're going to skip out also. However, just to note, we do have a 3-round burst perk on this weapon, which will be utilizing later in a video. Now, rear grips, we do have some neat additions here. So these are all really cosmetic changes to the base grips that we're all used to. So we have the XRK Void 2, the Cronin Sniper Elite, and the F-Tac R89 rubber. So just note the XRK Void 2 is more of a skeleton variation of the pistol grip. So we're going to be running with the F-Tac F89 rubber grip here. This is going to assist us with our recoil control as well as our aiming stability. So we're going to put that on. We're also going to skip out on the magazine option. We're going to stay with the standard 5.56, but just note we do have a 50-round magazine option as well as a 60-round magazine of 5.56 as well. So we're going to stay with the base 30-round. Now the underbarrel, we're actually going to go with the one unique option that we have here, which is the Cronin Shark. And I believe this is just a cosmetic change for this specific weapon. So the Cronin Shark is going to be the same as your tactical foregrip that we've seen on every other weapon. This is going to assist with our pros being aiming stability and the con being movement speed. So you can see there, pretty cool looking sight there, taking place at the tactical foregrip. But again, we also have the M203s now look more so like the 320s, and then every other attachment is the same. We also have our 12 gauge deputy or a master key on the underbarrel there, which also looks a little bit different there. You can see it has a forged tack on there, so it is a slight different variation. You'll note forged tack is on this rifle as well. So we're going to go ahead and use the Cronin Shark 2 because we are already mitigating the recoil control with the compensator as well as the grip that we selected. So aiming stability here is just going to help us keep our shots on target better and help us acquire our targets. Go ahead and select that, and this is our final design for the SIG SG 550. You can see here, one thing to note with this rifle that is true IRL is that we do have the ambidextrous select fire options for safety, full, and semi-auto for a single fire option. So you can see that is on the left and right side there. And then we have the magazine release in front of the trigger guard for the magazine release, and then we have on the left-hand side there where you would disconnect for the upper receiver, as well as the foldable buttstock here that would fold to the right-hand side of the weapon. We have a Picatinny rail on the top part of the upper receiver where we have our holographic mounted. We also have a Picatinny on the right-hand side, as well as the underbarrel of the weapon for this build. We do not have a Picatinny on the left-hand side, which gives it the barrel more so of the 550, which we're used to. So again, if you recognize this weapon, the SWAT RFT from Black Ops 4 as well as Black Ops 2 was modeled after the SIG Sauer 556, which is more so the civilian version of this weapon, or the American version, I should say. Due to American regulations, SIG Sauer had to produce some of the parts, so there is a SIG Sauer 556 version, which is what the SWAT RFT was modeled after. So this is the OG, the SIG SG 550. Let's go ahead now, and I'm going to actually show you one more addition before we jump in and look at the recoil patterns. Is our pistols. We're going to be running our Glock 18s. However, we do have a Kimbo option added for every pistol. So you see those when we get in game against bots. I'll show these off. We'll be running a duel of these from the hip. So now let's go ahead and get in game with our SIG SG 550. Check out the recoil and see how it handles against bots. Okay, now that we're in game with our SIG SG 550 assault rifle, let's go ahead now and look at the recoil pattern. So what I'm going to do is just let this rip and not control the recoil. Let's see how it handles. So there we can see a straight vertical and then a slight deviation to the right. So now let's try and control it. Once more. And then we'll back up a little bit and try and control it again. So we did a little less control that time. Let's compare all the options here. So we have the no recoil control, control, not so much. So once more time, we'll just let it rip and try and control it again. Really don't need to pull down too much on your sticks. You can see there, very accurate weapon. Not a lot of bullet spread here. Everything's pretty tight regardless. And then also we have our pistol variation here with the Glock 18s out of the X16 or the Glock 21. So you can see here how effective they are when you're firing them. You're really going to need to be in someone's face to get little bullet spread here. So we'll be using these in game also. So this is the recoil pattern with our SIG SG 550. Let's go ahead now and get in game and see how it handles in game against bots. Okay, now that we're in game with our SIG SG 550, let's go ahead and see how this rifle handles in game here against bots. So one thing to note, I am playing in core mode. If you follow me, you notice that I really do like to play in the realism mode. That's really all I've been playing lately, but realism was actually removed from the multiplayer playlist and replaced with the ground war realism. So we don't have a standard realism play mode right now, so I want to play in core to give everybody an idea as to how this handles with core damage models. So here you can see it is very accurate. Not a lot of recoil on this, as well as a pretty fast rate of fire. So the rate of fire is very fast. One thing I've noticed online is that the damage is a little bit lackluster, kind of in line with the M13. Not going to compete with the M4 for the most part. And I need to test it a little bit more to see how the damage really holds up with some other rifles. But obviously it's not going to compete with your M4 or even probably your Kilo 141. But again, the rate of fire is pretty fast, and you have very little recoil, which are the benefits of this weapon. And with the right attachments, you can really compete with anything. Same with what we showed with the M13 with all the videos that we did last week on this. So, Some IRL information about this weapon. Again, the SIG SG 550, or the Sturmgewehr 550 for the Switzerland name of assault rifle. Whoa. Oh, darn. So again, this is an assault rifle. Place of origin is Switzerland, and it's been in service since 1990. So development for this actually took place through the 1970s, all the way through the 1980s, and I believe development started in 86, and the design was finalized and went into production in 1990 for the Switzerland Army. So it was produced, it's still in service, being produced from 1990 through present. However, the Switzerland Army no longer is accepting units, so I think they've moved on to a different weapon at this time. Now, some other stats for this weapon in real life here. Again, it was manufactured by Swiss Armies AG, formerly known as Switzerland Industrie, and I can't pronounce the last word, but abbreviation is SIG. Production was 86 through present, and again, it went into service in 1990. So it does have a couple of variations we'll be covering in Conversion Series going forward. The mass for this weapon, for the SIG 550, is going to be 4.1 kilograms or 9.4 pounds. So just over 9 pounds with this. The length of the 550 here with the barrel that we have is going to be the 20.4, I believe, was what this particular one was. So in real life, it is a 20.8, but in game, the Nexus barrel that we're using here is 20.4. So just a little bit under the IRL barrel length, but they seem to be doing that with a lot of the weapons that we've seen to give us different options to make more variations out of the weapon.
Ready on your mark.
You can see, again, the rate of fire and the accuracy are the high points of this weapon. Very accurate, high rate of fire, very easy to control the recoil, especially at range. So that's the benefit of this weapon. The damage just is the problem with this. But again, if you're getting headshots, you should be okay.
Enemy at the hotel.
So again, as I said, the barrel length for this is going to be 20.8 inches. Let's see if we can get a grenade down there.
We're halfway there.
There we go. So overall, I do want to test this and see what the actual shot kill is. The cartridge in real life is a 5.56. Now the SG 553R does take a 7.62x39 option. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 shots at range like this. I would say this is a medium engagement range right there. If we can get it at a closer range, we'll test it also and see what it might be at a little bit of a closer range than that. So the action for this in real life is gas-operated rotating bolt design. Oh, I thought that was a guy. Nope. The rate of fire is 700 rounds per minute, which is pretty respectable. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 shots at a closer range like that. 5 at range, and then if we're obviously even longer out, it's going to be probably drop off to 6. But I haven't really tested it, but that's our 1, 2. Oh, that didn't really work.
Enemy at the shops.
Oh, this guy right here, I think. Oh, there we go. So the muzzle velocity for this is SIG 550 is 911 meters per second, or 2,989 feet. Now it's going to differ from the other variations of the weapon. The effective range is 100 to 400 meters with adjustable sights on this. There we have our Akimbo Glock 18. Speed system in real life is 520 or even a 30-round box mag. So in here, we're obviously using the 30-round box mag. It does come in game with the 50 and the 60-round box mags, like we saw. And now the sights for this, I'll put on the iron sights with this so we can see them, and especially when we cover the 5.52 Commando. In real life, there's basically illuminated front and rear sights for this for precision aim in night. You have basically illuminated green iron sights on the rear and the front. Wow, I'm getting lit up. Now, the problem with that was that it basically blinded you because you had the lights on the rear sight right in front of your eye, too. So it was hard to acquire your target. So that was one of the downsides of the 5.52 that I believe was remedied with the 5.53, which we'll be covering those going forward in this series. So you can see there, it takes a couple shots to kill at range. But let me know what you guys think of this weapon for Season 2, the GRAU 5.56 or the SIG SG 552 at base. And here we're making it into the SIG SG 553. So if you guys recognize this rifle, as I said, it is basically the SWAT RFT from Black Ops 2 as well as Black Ops 4. Sig Sauer did the American version of this, or assisted with the American version of this to meet American constraints. It needed American-made manufacturing to meet the constraints, and SIG Sauer did that as the SIG Sauer, or the SIG 556, which SIG no longer produces that weapon to my knowledge. It's nowhere to be found on their website, and none of the models there. Now they've moved on to the MCX Virtus models and the Rattlers and other variations of that. So let me know what you guys think of this weapon for Season 2. Are you excited about it? Are you happy with the weapon as it's performing? I need to get some more time with it online. I don't have all the attachments, but also some more information here is obviously the Battle Royale is all but confirmed. We were talking about this yesterday in our video for Season 2 and how it hadn't been confirmed, but the intro for Season 2 is pretty much exactly a Battle Royale without saying it, showing Ghost infiltrating with multiple squads, and then you see characters jumping out of a AC-130, or a C-130, so Battle Royale all but confirmed. Should be coming at some point this season. We also, as we saw in the beginning of the video, the classified menu was added to the main menu, so we have a classified one there. That's going to be, obviously, as Game Revolution leaked, a new add-on to the game, hopefully free as he was leaking, and we'll be able to select that. But let me know what you guys think of the SIG 550, and until next time, Buffner Gaming, out.